Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy you're joining us today. Now, if you're a senior, or you know someone who's about to start receiving the Canada Pension Plan or CPP, you definitely want to stick around for this one. I've got some really important news coming your way. There's a major increase in your CPP payments coming this April, and trust me, you don't want to miss out on how this could impact your finances. We're going to break down what's happening, why it's happening, and how it will affect you, especially if you're a senior who's been counting on your CPP payments. So make sure to grab a comfy seat, hit that like button, and let's dive into the details. Alright, let's start off with the big news. If you're a senior in Canada, there's a substantial increase coming to your monthly Canada Pension Plan payments starting in April. That's right. The government has announced a significant boost to the amount you'll be receiving. And this is something you need to be aware of, whether you're already collecting your CPP or you're planning to in the near future. In the past, we've seen some moderate changes to the CPP payments, but this year is different. The increase isn't just a little bump. It's one of the most substantial hikes we've seen in years. So, if you've been feeling the financial strain, this could be a game changer for you. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's talk about why this increase is happening in the first place. What's behind the decision to boost these payments? First and foremost, the increase is part of a broader effort by the Canadian government to keep up with the rising cost of living. Over the past few years, we've all felt the pinch of inflation, rising food prices, gas prices, and housing costs. For seniors, especially those who live on fixed incomes, these increases can be even more difficult to manage. To ease this financial burden, the government has decided to make these payments more in line with current inflation rates. This will help ensure that seniors can maintain their purchasing power and continue to enjoy a decent standard of living. The change is also part of a long-term strategy to gradually improve CPP benefits for future generations as well, so that more people can rely on this safety net in their retirement years. This hike comes at an important time, after the Canadian government introduced some substantial changes to the CPP program back in 2019, designed to increase benefits for future retirees. While these changes are mostly directed toward those who are just starting to contribute to the CPP, today's increase is a direct effort to ease the current pressures that many seniors face in Canada. Now, you're probably wondering, how much more money are we talking about? Well, it's significant, and I know a lot of you are going to be excited to hear this. The increase will vary based on your situation, but the general hike is about 10% across the board for those who are already receiving the Canada Pension Plan payments. That's right, a 10% bump. If you've been receiving around $1,100 per month, you're looking at an increase of around $110 more each month, which is a pretty big deal, especially if you're on a fixed income. Let's break it down further. For someone who is receiving the maximum amount, that means a boost of approximately $120 per month starting in April. And this isn't just a one-time thing. These payments will continue for the foreseeable future. So you can count on having this extra money in your pocket every month. It may not seem like a huge amount at first glance, but when you add up that extra $110 to $120 over the course of the year, it's about an additional $1,320 to $1,440 per year. For many seniors, that's money that can go a long way in helping with groceries, medications, or even just easing the stress of rising living costs. So, what does all of this mean for you in practical terms? If you've been relying on your CPP payments to get by, that extra cash could really make a difference. It could help cover some of the rising costs of essentials like food and utilities, or even provide a little cushion for unexpected expenses. But here's the thing. Not everyone is getting the same amount, and that depends on a few different factors. How much you'll receive depends on when you started contributing to the CPP, how long you contributed, and whether you're receiving the maximum amount or a lower amount. If you're wondering whether you're eligible for the full increase, the best way to check is to log into your My Service Canada account, where you can find details on your CPP payment amounts, how much you're contributing, and what your future payments might look like. This is also a good time to double-check your pension status and make sure everything is in order before the April increase takes effect. If you're new to the CPP system or are planning to start collecting soon, Understanding how these contributions add up over the years is important for your retirement planning. The more you've contributed throughout your working years, the more you'll see from your monthly payments. The key date to remember here is April. Starting in April, the government will begin sending out the increased payments to seniors who qualify. You'll start seeing the new, higher amounts in your bank account or in the mail if you receive paper checks. This is an automatic adjustment, so you don't need to do anything to receive the increase. But keep in mind that some people may not see the increase immediately. If you're someone who has just started receiving CPP, or if your payments are processed at a later date in the month, the adjustment might not hit until the following month. That said, once you see that extra money in your account, you'll know that the government has made good on their promise to give seniors the relief they need. Now, you might be thinking, this is great for seniors, but how does it impact the Canadian economy as a whole? That's a fair question. The government is essentially pouring more money into the hands of seniors, and that money will likely be spent in the local economy. Whether it's on groceries, healthcare, or entertainment, those increased payments are bound to have a ripple effect. In fact, many economists believe that this could help stimulate the economy by boosting consumer spending. Seniors make up a large part of the population, and when they spend, it supports businesses and creates jobs in local communities. Additionally, this increase is part of the government's broader commitment to reducing poverty among seniors, which will have long-term benefits for Canadian society. Healthier, financially secure seniors are less likely to rely on social services, which in turn saves the government money in the long run. Alright, now that you know about the increase, let's talk about how to make the most of it. For many seniors, that extra $110 to $120 per month can be a real lifeline, but it's also an opportunity to plan for the future. If you can, try to budget and allocate that extra income in a way that will maximize its benefits. Perhaps you could use it to put a little more money toward your savings or investments. Or maybe you could use it to cover some essential expenses that have been harder to afford due to inflation. For those of you who are still working and contributing to CPP, this increase is also a reminder of the importance of planning for your future. The more you contribute to your CPP now, the higher your pension will be when you retire. And it's always good to start planning as early as possible. So, there you have it. A big boost is coming to your Canada Pension Plan payments starting in April, and it's definitely something you don't want to miss. This increase will provide significant relief for seniors across the country, especially as we navigate the rising costs of living. Be sure to check your account, verify your payments, and take full advantage of this change. Whether you're already retired or looking ahead to your future, this is an exciting opportunity to improve your financial security. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on important updates like this one. Let me know in the comments how this increase will impact you, or if you have any questions about the CPP. See you in the next video.